Hey, what's up, guys? This is Danae, founder, face of Real Love Waits. How are you? Just want to talk to you real quick and tell you how God is a healer. He truly heals. I know sometimes we feel like we're in a place where you're like, okay, God, where are you? Or we feel like we're in a hard place where you feel stuck and you feel that nobody's listening. Is God, are you listening? Do you hear my prayers? Are you listening to me? Did you hear me when are you even listening to me? God is always there. He's always near. He says in his word that he sticks closer to us than a brother. He said that he'll never leave nor forsaking you. And I truly know God to be a healer for many reasons, but for one specific reason. He showed me that he is a healer and that he can heal you as long as you allow him to heal you. You open up to allow him to heal you, because I used to always say, God heal me, God heal me. I'm hurt, I'm going through so many things, but I never allow God to heal me, simply because I think that healing is a process. It's something that you have to go through, where we like to go around it, but there's no way of going around it. Like, if you truly want to be healed, you have to go through it, and going through it sometimes could be, can be hard. It can be take you through a lot of emotions. It's just like, you think about a tunnel. In order to go through the tunnel, you have to go through it. You can't go around it, you can't go over it. You have to go through that tunnel. And sometimes going through that tunnel is not fun. It's not easy. It's a process. It's really a process. And I had to go through a process of healing after being saved, actually after losing someone very close to me. But prior to his passing, I remember my grandfather passed away in January 2011. This was even before I, gave my life to Christ, before I did, started going to the church and all those things like that, before I, really dedicated my life to Christ. And the passing of my grandfather was really a trying time for me. I was very hurt, very sad, very angry, because me and my grandfather, we were very close. Where I was his girl, and he would do anything for me. I called my grandfather, he was right there. I remember it, like, whatever I whatever I needed, he was there to provide for me. Talking about cars, phones, whatever it is that I needed, he took care of me, and I appreciate him for that. He spoiled me, for real. And I miss him for that. But me and my grandfather was like this. And I remember when he passed away, I was really hurt. I was devastated. Losing him, it was unforeseen circumstances where he just, passed away. And I was just like, it was very unexpected. Any death is hard, but it was just so unexpected. Was not expecting this. And, he passed away. He passed away in, 2011, January 2011. And I remember, just going through that time, I turned to drinking. I turned to the liquor. I drank so much. And I remember smoking and, trying to get high to numb the pain. Meanwhile, I was just self-medicating and just, I didn't feel anything. I didn't even feel, from drinking, usually you're intoxicated. I didn't feel anything. I just felt numb at the time. So I turned to those things to help heal the pain or help deal with what I was going through at that time. Now, fast forward to April 2011 is when I actually gave my life to Christ. I dedicated my life to Christ. Got saved at Life Changing Word Church International, where I serve now, where I've been for 8 years. Praise God. But I came to this church because I remember my friend, she was saying that she had a cousin who was a pastor and the first lady. She was related to them, and I don't know why, but we were talking about going to church where my life was, we called ourselves the life of the party. We were the can't stop, won't stop crew in New York. Every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We were known. We were known in New York. We go there. DJs know us, shouting us out. Party promoters. We were known. Just for going out, hanging out. We had a good time. This was nearly like every day of the week. We were always out there living the fast life, doing, having, whatever. So in April, I decided one day, because people always ask me, how did you get to this point? What made you go to church? What happened? And simply nothing really happened. It's just I decided to go to church. And, I went to church that first day. I joined, and then I gave my life to Christ. And 3 months, this is April, May, June, July. So let me tell you, I met this guy. I was with him for about 3 years. We were really, like, he was more so my best friend than anything. We were very tight, very close. I really thought this was like the love of my life, my soulmate. We were going to be together forever. But we were going in April when I decided to give my life to Christ. I was going through this transformation when I like, you know what? I can't be messing around like this. Like, I can't continue, to be in a relationship like this, to being sexually active, and where I wanted to really focus my life, giving my life to Christ and really doing this thing for real. Like, I didn't want to play with it. So I'm letting him know I'm all in. So this time I'm trying to focus on Christ. So we've been really going through that whole thing of like, we're together, but we're not together. And I went through the whole thing where I was just like, okay, we can't do this no more. Where I erased him off Facebook, because I'm trying to get over dude, like we were like really tight. Like, me and him, like, we hung out, we were together all the time, and we had a lot of fun. Basically we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things together. We had a great time all the time. He became like my best friend, but we were in that, I'm sure, the women, you go through that thing like we're together, but we're not together, that whole thing like that. So, and come July, he passed away. But I had no idea. I didn't know anything about it because, like I told you, I was trying to like cut him off as I decided to, really just focus on Christ. But prior to his passing, the day before he passed away, we had a chance to talk on the phone, and it was just a beautiful conversation. We talked for a long time. We expressed our feelings to one another, things like that. His birthday was coming up. We talked about his birthday, celebrating life, and different things like that. So the next day he passed away, which I had no idea. I know it may sound strange, like how you did not know. I lived in one state, he lived in another state, not too far from each other. I was in New Jersey, he was in New York, but I like cut him off on Facebook, so I had no idea what was going on. I was not paying attention to anyone's posts or whatever the case may be. But every now and then I would go on Facebook, look at his page, see what's going on, want to see what's going on. So we spoke the next day. He passed away. I had no idea. I found out 2 weeks later. The only reason why I found out, like I said, I wanted to go on, I would go on Facebook and check his page and, just see what's going on, how he's doing. And his birthday was July 24th. And I found it strange that he didn't call me, because I could just hear him like, woman, like, why you didn't call me on my birthday? Because birthdays were like really big to me. And for him, it was just like another day and I'm like, it's strange that he didn't call. It's on his birthday. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I think it was August 3rd, actually. I still remember the dates, August 3rd. And so I went on Facebook, just to check on him, see what's up. And all I saw was R.I.P. Michael. I was just like, you got to understand, I was truly like, I was in shock. I was devastated. Like, I just broke down. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, this is not true. This is not true. That's not true. So I'm looking at mutual friends, and I'm looking at he had a page in love and memory, a page dedicated to him. So I'm looking at all these videos. He's on YouTube because he was in a motorcycle club. So all these videos they showing, dedicating videos to him and all these things like that. I'm like, no, this can't be true. This can't be true. And I just remember I was just really, truly, I was messed up at this point where I couldn't do nothing for a couple of, like, 2 days. I was just down, like, this can't be true. Like, how did I not know? And I found out, find out that I missed the funeral, the burial, like all the things. I missed everything. So you gotta understand, like, this is someone I was with for like 3 years, in a relationship for 3 years, off and on. But before, like I said, we were really close, really good friends. Did anything. I think we wanted to protect that too, which is why we were always off and on. We wanted to protect that friendship that we had. But anyway, even after dealing with his passing, I remember, like I said, my grandfather passed away in January, where I wanted to just drink and smoke. That was all I wanted. But when I found out he passed away, when I found out Mike passed away, I didn't want for no drink, okay? I didn't want for any weed. I didn't want for anything. I turned to God at that moment. And that's when I truly realized that, God is a healer. He comforts you in your pain. When you're going through something, it was nothing but God that kept me. Because, like I said, when my grandfather passed away, it was devastating. But it's different when, you're in an intimate relationship with someone and that person passed away. And don't forget that I didn't even know about it. I found out, a couple of weeks later. It was just so unreal. And I honestly don't know where I'd be or what would have happened or how I would have got through this situation if I didn't have God in my life at the time. It was only God that kept me, because I go into more later, a little bit more details, probably in the next video, but I was truly hurt, like really hurt, but it was nothing but God. And grief is a process. Healing, like I said, healing is a process. Grief is a process. And I didn't even know that I was grieving all this year, because it was now 5 years. We fast forward to 5 years. And I'm still like, why am I still feeling hurt? Why am I random, like, just crying sometimes? Why am I still so sad? Like, what's going on? So I finally reached out to a grief counselor. And, one of the best decisions that I could have made, went through grief counseling. And that's when I made the decision. I truly surrendered my heart to God and said, God, I need you to heal me. Because I was holding on so tight, because I thought that if I go through this process, because a lot of times I know as, singles, we have a hard time letting go of ex and those people who were in our lives for so long. We feel like if we let them go, we're going to lose out on everything. And I felt like, if I let go, or if I go through this process of grieving, if I go through this process of healing, like, I'm letting go and I'm giving up everything that everything that was, or a lot of things going through my mind, and I didn't want to face the situation, because going through it was really tough. It was hard, but it was necessary. Even just surrendering my life to Christ and going through that time, going through this healing process, going through the grieving counseling, like, God showed me so much about me. He gave me so many answers to those questions that I had, that, he sent people to answer those questions. It was just so much confirmation. God just continued, to, once you surrender to God, God is then able to work within you, because I held so much in that I didn't allow God to even come in to help and heal whatever it was that I was going through. But once I learned to surrender and truly give my heart to Christ, like, I kept saying, God, I want you to heal me, heal me, heal me. But I was holding on so tight. But the moment I let go and allow God to come in, God truly healed me. He truly healed me. God is my healer, and He can be your healer too. God wants to work with you. He wants to partner with you. So you may not have lost someone, but in this single season, I encourage you to really surrender to God, really truly give your heart to Him and open up and speak to Him about those deep things, those hard things, those things that we don't want to talk about. Really open up and allow God to deal with you, because a lot of times we're so quick to jump in relationships after relationship after relationship looking for that one thing when it's God that you need in your life. We're looking for someone to fill the void, but it's only God that can fulfill you, make you whole, make you complete. And He's waiting for you to say, all right, God, I surrender. I'm going to let you in. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like being free and, allowing God to work through you. It's not an easy process, but you have to go through in order to overcome, in order to, get to that place of total freedom in your life, that place of wholeness and complete. You have to allow God to work through you, allow God to have His way. Surrender. Just throw in the towel. Just let God just surrender. I mean, it takes work. It's going to take work on your part, but once you are willing and He see that you're willing and you open the door of your heart and you just say, come in, and you allow Him to heal you. I promise you, God wants to heal you. God is a healer. He is my healer. I know Him to be my healer. Get healed now. Get set free now. Don't wait until you're in a relationship to try to start healing or looking for that. That's why a lot of relationships fail, because they're looking for that other person to fulfill something that they can't. They put so much pressure on that other person to do what only God can do. So allow God to heal you. Allow God to do what's necessary in this season, so that you can get through the next stage in your life. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's worth it. So I encourage you to surrender, get free today. But that is all. I'll be back with more videos, just sharing with you a little bit more of going through the process of healing and knowing that God is a healer and He can be your healer too. But it's just a matter of you surrendering and making the choice to say, you know what, God, I let you in. I'm going to let you in. I'm going to allow you to heal me, because God is a gentleman. He's not going to just force Himself in. He's waiting for you to say, God, here I am. I'm ready. But I encourage you guys to get right. Allow God to deal with you before you deal with anyone else. This season is very important. Take advantage of this time, of this opportunity of, having that alone time with God, spending that time with God. God truly wants to heal you. This is, again, Danae, founder face of Real Love Waits. I'll be back with you guys to share more stories. I pray that you were encouraged. Feel free to like, comment, share, message me if you have any questions. I appreciate you guys so much.